Hi. Well, we're approaching the Rave New Year, and I'd like to begin by welcoming all of you and wishing you all a happy new experience for this year, huh? We certainly had quite an experience last year. um, as we move closer and closer to 2027, it becomes more and more important to be present to this moment. Um, It's the mind that worries. It's the mind that worries about the future. And we can't stop our mind from talking, but we cannot believe the words that it's saying to us to be true. To not let the mind create a story about what your life could be or maybe or anything like that. One of the biggest things that so many people worry about is, am I going to survive? And none of us are going to survive. We're all going to die sometime. Our bodies are going to die. We're not going to die, but our bodies are. The consciousness inside has no age. It's alive. It's forever young, whatever you want to call it. But you know, so the mind picks all these things and it knows our triggers, huh? It knows how to poke us. At least my mind, especially in the beginning, really knew how to do everything it could to take the power back because I had given my power to my mind to run my life up until I began my experiment. And I didn't know that. And I was someone who meditated and who was aware of the mind and, you know, um, who, uh, what I got to see with my experiment was how my mind disguised um, what it said to me as if it was my heart, because so much in the spiritual world is follow your heart, huh? So much of what I did was following my heart, but it was actually my mind telling me all that, huh? So, or my intuition, so ah, it's going to become more and more important as we move closer to 2027 um, to be aware of what the mind says, you know? Just think for a moment, if you could erase or take away all that the mind says, all the mind's thinking, all it's talking to you, what would be there? It would just be you present in this now. And that's where we all are all the time. There's nothing else. It's just the mind creates this swirling, um, yeah, like dust or swirling mud around us that we can't see or experience being present, but it's always there. It's just the mind that takes us away from that. So, one of the things that we can do is just not believe what the mind says to us, not believe it's true about us, about our lives, about our future, about what could happen, what might happen. And breathing really helps too. I remember, I'm 25 years in this experiment. So, it took a long time to get to this space. And in the beginning, oh my God, it was intense. It was so intense. I have sacral authority, and my sacral would go aha to something, and my mind would be screaming, "What do you mean, yes? You can't say yes to that. That's not possible." And I mean, my mind became really obvious to me because of the experiment. So breathing really helps. So when your mind is really activated, and it has a lot to say to you about what's going on because there's so much going on now. And there's this expert and this media representation and this doctor and this politician and this bank expert and all of this, you know, just breathe and just really watch the breath, huh? Um, And I just want to say there's nothing wrong with your computer. It's the sun. It decides to go in and out, and it's just behind me now out my window. So I get darker and lighter, huh? um, Awareness, it's all about becoming aware. Just becoming aware of the mind's thoughts. We can't stop it. Becoming aware of, what's happening in the life without judging, because awareness doesn't have judgment with it. The mind has judgment with it. So, um, it is going to become more intense, huh? I mean, something that's been our underlying foundation for over 400 years is shifting like tectonic plates. The ground is shifting, our very foundation is shifting, and everything that we have lived in our uh, parents and grandparents and great grandparents and great great grandparents, it's in the genetic pool. This foundation is falling apart, but another foundation will be there. It's just going to be very different. So, you know, um, I just finished doing a transit forecast for 2021. I've never done it before. Human Design Asia had asked me to prepare something to do as an online workshop, and then Human Design Community in Israel asked. Um, so I ended up creating this whole presentation of slides and also talking. And the one thing that I think is important, whether it's the forecast for just the year or the month or the week or the shifts that are happening in 2027, is just to stay with who you are each step of the way. That's the stability during whatever's happening, whatever's going on in the world or in your life. If you just stay with that. And for me, the only way I could become stable was to really staying with my strategy and making decisions based on my inner authority. Right now there's this whole vaccine thing happening all over the world. Well, this one says this and that one says that. And, the mind is just trying to make this decision. So let your inner authority do that. If there's not a yes or no, you don't know. So wait for the knowing to come, because there's no right or wrong. It's just this, the mind is always working in duality, this or that, huh? Good or bad, right or wrong, us and them. It's always duality. It's two sides of the same coin. And it's true, for the mundane life and life in these forms, if you take away one side, the other side disappears. But what I found out from living my experiment is there's this singularity that moves me, that there's not a duality within. It's just, and this is being present, and it moves you, each step of the way. So whether it's the 2021 weather forecast or the forecast for, this movement towards 2027, yeah, if you need to take out an umbrella for the forecast of the yearly forecast, huh? Or you need to put on your winter coat or you need to put on sunscreen, who knows? But it's just the weather. And if you're stable within yourself, you can meet the weather. It's just like the weather outside, like the sun behind me is going in and out. And for 2027, hey, this is hurricane season. I mean, that's all. It's tsunami season, and we all know we live in different parts of the world. There may be blizzards, tsunamis, typhoons, hurricanes, you know, tornadoes, all of these um, aspects of nature that are huge. That's it. This is the movement towards 2027. You know, the pandemic was, a typhoon that hit the whole world, or hurricane, or whatever you want to call it. In my newsletters, I've shared about being shocked. I was shocked with the pandemic. I hadn't expected that to happen. Right, as if we can know whatever's going to happen in the future, huh? And the mind is funny, but my mind never expected that to happen. So my mind was shocked. And then with the violence at the Capitol building, it was shocked again because I never expected that um, the falling apart of the foundations as we know it would be accompanied with violence. And, so it was shocking. Yet, even though there's shock, I'm not afraid. It's just part of the unfolding. You hear about stars exploding or hitting each other, or black holes. I mean, you see about so many huge shifts and changes that happen in the whole totality. And this is the shifts and change that's happening for our human evolution. It's part of our movement, part of our world. And, for those of you who don't know, one of the keys for 2027 that will unlock the the global driver, in a way, the new direction, is the key of the gate of shock, the 51st gate. So shock, if we're shocked, oh, we're right in tune with 2027. Anyway, I just really wanted to share about mm, watching the mind now, because it's going to be very important, because so much is happening and the mind's trying to figure it all out, and it can't. It can't. Nobody's mind can. So, um, yeah, to hold on to your strategy. That's what I did. I don't anymore because it's just me, I'm being. It's not even waiting anymore. It really does stabilize us. I mean, I don't know how I would manage to get through all that's happening now without the stability inside that came from living my experiment. My heart goes out to all the people on this planet because I just feel so lucky and grateful for this. Um, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to end there. And yeah, until next time. Bye.